Yes, very good. Do you know a translate that? Yes, very good. So indeed, the otherwise you would have sterke here, and I guess maybe that might make sense in like strong of I don't know, character. I don't know, but I think it makes more sense like this. Cool. All right, 4. Caitlin. Oh, okay. That makes it kind of difficult. This one, yeah. No worries. This would work if I had the slides up, but I do not. No worries. You are excused. Para Jota. Mm-hmm. Yes, very good. Do you know what the translation is? Yeah, go for it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, it is door opening, like the space where the door is. The big door does not fit. And maybe there's a better word for that in English. That might be pretty Dutchism for me to translate it like that. But it's door opening. I don't know. The thing, the door is door frame. Yes, that's the word. So this the grote deur does not fit in the door frame. Bought the wrong size door. A doorway. Yeah, that's a good word. Nice. Thanks. All right. Aida, could you do 5? Yes. Yes, indeed. Do you know what it means? Mm. Can you want to guess about the last word? The belachelijk is just like means ridiculous, ridiculously. Yes, indeed. It's always applicable. The indeed. So the new iPhone is ridiculously expensive. So belachelijk means ridiculous or ridiculously. And then finally 6. Um, I need to scroll. Bethany. Yes, very good. Could you translate? Yes, very good. Indeed, good job minding the N, because it is a material. Nice. Alright. Then we move on to number 2. If the computer allows it. Yes. Okay, so this now it is hurting me that I don't have the booklet with me here. I think you had to check whether the sentence was correct, and if it was not, you had to correct it. So the first one, Simona, could you tell me whether the sentence is correct? Yes. Um, yes, indeed. That's the big one. I'm not sure which D you meant, because... Oh, D. I think you could say it like that. You could say, nee, dit is niet van mij. Maar nee, you wouldn't. Yeah, no, I think you could say, nee, die is niet van mij. And we're going to talk about dit and die in a bit. Those are demonstratives. But indeed, the N is incorrect. So it should be van mij, not van mijn. So you say this is not of me. Yeah, that doesn't. You don't really say that in English. But you wouldn't say it's not of mine. You would say mine or of me in Dutch. In English, you don't really say of me. But so indeed, very good. So the sentence is this your bike? No, this is not the one of me. This is not mine. All right, 2. Stefan. Okay. Ah, that's pretty. That's a very interesting thing. Liet hij, zij, haar. That is almost a correct sentence. So the original is hij, zij, haar knippen. And if you would say liet, so let, then you could create a beautiful sentence. Liet hij haar knippen. Did he let her cut her hair? So the difficulty is hij, zij, haar. So this just says he, she, her hair knippen. And so that's not obviously an correct sentence. And there are different ways you could go about this. So this is one. But you could make it like this. Hij zou haar haar knippen. He would cut her hair. Or yeah, there's a lot of different possibilities. This is just incorrect, but that's pretty good way to solve it. Putting a lead there. Nice. Hij, zij, haar knippen. Yeah, I don't really know exactly what a great the best version of that sentence would be, because it's just a really weird one. All right. Nice. Yes. Yes. Ooh. That's very good. If you just switch around the last 2 words, then it's correct. Heeft zij haar laten knippen? That would be also correct. Let's see. Heeft zij haar laten knippen? No. Ah. Oh, that's interesting. No, it is indeed laten knippen. And the reason for that is that knippen is like the more important verb here in the sentence. And the more important infinitive, it gets put at the end. Laten is an auxiliary infinitive, like the ones we talked about, like to want or shall. Those are kind of different. This is like another one. And it's not as important. Like the point of the sentence is not the letting, but it's the cutting. So you put that here. Yeah. Did she get her haircut? I get something like that. That would be a good translation. Or has she had her haircut? It's a bit weird because normally you have heeft, that would be a present perfect, but because of this Latin, it gets a bit weird. This is a correct sentence. It's a weird sentence. Let's move on to a less weird sentence, the second one. Rosita, could you do that one? Number 3. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. So you add an N to the mijn? What exactly did you change? Mm-hmm. Okay, but what did you change after jou? Ah, okay, so you did jou thuis and then you did mijn huis. Yes. Okay, good. So this is indeed correct. This is interesting, but that's not the thing that's incorrect about the sentence. That would be and that's a good one for me to remember. It's a very tricky one, whether to use thuis or huis. So thuis means home, and huis means house. Ah, no, that's totally understandable. This is a difficult exercise. But the other thing, so what you did here is correct. So it said mij, which is like the object form of the pronoun, and you change it to the possessive form, and that's the same thing that's incorrect here. Yes, that's correct. And the same thing is incorrect in the sentence here. So it says jou without a W, and that is meaning you in the object sense. So I give a gift to you, but it should be your, which in Dutch is jou, and it should just be a house. So should we? Now it says the standard form or like the wrong form is shall we go to you house or to me house, and it should be shall we go to your house or to my house. The difficulty, of course, is in Dutch. This is pronounced exactly the same as this. So you would not in spoken form you would not be able to distinguish it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice. And so this is indeed good. So it should be mijn. So naar jouw huis gaan of naar mijn huis. Alright, the fourth one. Survive. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. No, unfortunately not. This one is very tricky because it's just correct, and there's nothing wrong with the sentence. No. Yeah, no, this one is more annoying because you can just stare at it for a long time. It's like something has to be incorrect, but no, it's just correct. So yes, so the fact that you didn't sense an incorrect one is very good. Alright, en dan finally, hun Nederlands is al heel goed. Saif, could you do that one? Did No, that is not necessary. Unfortunately. It is also correct. It is also a mean one. So it is just hun Nederlands, which means their Dutch. So their Dutch is already very good. So they don't need class or etc. etc. Alright. Good job. This was a difficult exercise. I do like these kinds of exercises because you really have to stare at them for a bit. But it is a bit annoying if you can't find anything. Or if you can find, you don't know whether you have found something. But now we will move on to het woord van de week. Of de woorden van de week. Because the theme of this week is animals, very loosely. And the woorden van de week are some names of animals. De olifant, het konijn en de vogel. Olifant, konijn and vogel. And this means elephant, rabbit, bird, respectively. Now, these are not very, they're words for animals in Dutch. Those were fun to know. But usually for het woord van de week I try to have a fun word. So I came up with a better one. I write the word down, the animal down, and you have to guess which one it is. And it's just one. So what is this animal in English? Maybe in some languages it's the same, but vogelbekdier. Any idea what it could be? I can translate the parts. Maybe that will help. Probably not. Vogel, we saw this, meaning bird. Bek, meaning beak. So, and dier, meaning animal. So it is a bird beak animal. Very specific. Ooh, that would be a good guess. No, that would make sense. It is not a toucan. It is also not a woodpecker. In fact, it's not even a bird. I'll give you that. It is a platypus, yes. Those weird boys. Because they're like mammals. I mean, they are mammals, they're not like mammals. Which is a zoogdier. Zoogdier. I think this means like... It refers to the fact that mammals give their children like milk and not just like whatever. So I'm not really sure what that like wean. No, that's the opposite of that. Okay, whatever. Suckle? No, that sounds too weird. Zoogdier. But apparently that wasn't important, so they just focused on the weird part that it has a bird beak. Because it has like kind of a beak, like a bird, sort of. I'm not sure. I've never seen a bird with such a beak, but. Whatever. It is a platypus, which is probably the weirdest word for an animal in Dutch. But we have a few fun ones. And this one. Yeah, this is a double. Double, whatever. Luiaard and luipaard. And I'll give you one hint. This. Okay, I don't know what that is. Lui means lazy. Yes, this is a leopard. It indeed looks like leopard. And what would the other one be? Indeed, that's actually not the etymology, but that is what it looks like. This looks like lazy horse, but it actually comes from luip and then aard. And luip is like a very old word that means to like prowl and sneak around. Yes, this is a sloth, indeed. So aard means something like in its nature, comes from, I'm not sure, it's from earth, I don't know. It comes from like it's in its nature. So something aard is a thing from it's in its nature to do the thing. So this is just basically a lazy bones, lazy animal. It's a sloth, which makes sense. And this is then a animal that sneaks. But I find it funnier to think about this as a lazy horse. Speaking about horses, we also have another one that is kind of weird, which is this one does come from paard. Nijlpaard. A what? No, unfortunately not. That would be a zeepaard. Or a zeepaardje, because they're like small and cute. Yes, indeed, it is a hippo. So, yes, this is the Nile, the river, and I mean, they bear some resemblances to horses, I guess. Like they have 4 legs and like a long face, and that's about as far as I would put that. But yes, these are hippos, nijlpaarden, Nile horses. majestic creatures. Alright, I don't have any other funny names in Dutch that aren't very similar to other languages. So that's it for the animal names. Let us go back to grammar. This was much too fun diversion. And now I want to have a segue, but I can't have I can't think of one. We're going to talk about how are you going to go here? Ontkenningen, negations. I don't feel like writing in red anymore. Do something with better contrast. Blue. So ontkenningen are things that negate sentences, and in Dutch we have two words for that. In English you also have two words. So in English you have not and actually you have three. You have not, no, and none. And in Dutch we have only two. So we have niet and we have geen, which means both no and none. No in the sense of the thing that you use as negation, not as the word no. The word no, I'm not sure if I ever told you, but I think I did. Yes and no in Dutch, also good to know. Yes is ja, ja, and no is nee, nee. Ja, nee, nee, ja. If you want to be fancy, you can say neen, but then it does sound like you are from 1950. Which might be your style, I don't know. So niet and geen. They are used in different circumstances, and we'll talk about the easier one first. Niet. Niet. We won't talk about the easy one. We gaan niet over the... No, okay, never mind. I'm trying to make jokes and it's not working. We're going to talk about geen because it's easier. Geen you use when you want to negate a noun. So when you say something is, or you have a sentence which involves a noun that you want to negate, and that noun is indefinite. Onbepaald. And here you say, Thomas, what are your indefinite nouns again? I definitely know, but I just need a refresher. Well, let me tell you. Indefinite nouns are things that are not very specific. So, and they look like, you can recognize them because they don't have a definite article in front of them. So, no definite article. Geen definitief lidwoord. And definite articles are things like de and het. Those are the most basic ones. But also mijn, jou, so your, mine, that's pretty specific. And things like this and that, which we'll get to in a bit. So there's die and dat, etc. We'll get to those in a bit. So all these are the definite articles. And every noun that does not have a definite article is indefinite. So examples are een. I think you can still, no, you cannot see that at all. Never mind. Let's move back here. So indefinite articles are things like een, so sommige, enkele, een paar. So this means like some, a few, a pair, like I don't know, some amount of those things, or numbers. So like 3, 4, or no article. In the plural, for instance, if you're talking about there were a lot of cars. No, wait, that's cars are annoying or something. Then you don't have an article and it's indefinite. You're just not talking about specific cars. You're talking about just cars in general. And those things are indefinite. And that is important to know because that influences which words you use in a negation. So say we have a sentence, a child comes up to me, I don't know, and says, Thomas, ik wil a puppy. I want a puppy. And I, being the heartless bastard I am, say no. How do I say that? I say nee. Je mag geen puppy. You are not allowed to have a puppy. And so, because we have an indefinite indefinite noun, and we negate the sentence, then we use geen. Je mag geen puppy. You would not say what we would normally do, and we'll get into in a bit. Can you still see this one? No. Oh, yeah. No. Okay. You would not say je mag een puppy niet. You would not say that. Because if you have this, then it kind of gets pulled into here and becomes geen. And that's kind of the basics. So geen you use in those cases where you have a negation and a noun, with one exception. And the exception is if you want to, and we'll, okay, now I will mention that exception later because it's important for another word we'll talk about. I will just keep it here as a reminder. Je mag niet een puppy. Well, let's talk about niet. So niet means not. And it's a bit complicated where you would put it in the sentence, but there's a general rule, which is normally, so in general, if you want to negate the whole sentence, so let's say fuck, I don't have a good example. There's something with animals. Ik hou. No, that's also a thing. It's difficult. I should just look at the slides. Yes. Say, let's make it cuter. Ik knuffel het konijn. Het konijntje. I cuddle the bunny. And if I, unfortunately, am not in that situation, I put niet after this. Ik knuffel het konijntje niet. And so in general, so we talked about word order a little bit. We have the subject, then we have the verb, then we have the object, and niet in general comes here. So niet is after the object. But before all the other verbs in the sentence. So say we have a different sentence. Say someone is telling me to cuddle the bunny, and I'm like, no, I don't wanna. I can say, ik wil het konijntje niet knuffelen. So again, we have the subject, we have the verb, we have the object, and then we have the niet, and then we have the other verbs. And so, and in general, like if you have any adverbs, they belong here. Like, ik wil morgen het konijntje niet knuffelen. Ik wil let's see, straks etc., etc. They will come here. But now things get hairy, like our little bunny. Because with adverbs things get a little annoying. So with adverbs, so if you have a sentence with an adverb in it, so this, and it's not a time adverb but different, so well, yeah, then they sometimes go a different place in the sentence. So say I want to cuddle the bunny. I don't want to cuddle the bunny in the park. or there's a park and there, and I don't want to go to the park and cuddle the bunny just in general, then you would put that here. Ik wil het konijntje in het park. So, niet knuffelen. But this is kind of a different thing because now het konijntje in het park is one thing. So the bunny in the park I don't want to cuddle. But say it's about the cuddling in the park. So I don't want to cuddle the bunny in the park. Then you say, ik wil het konijntje niet in het park knuffelen. Then you put it here. Because you're negating the specific adverb. So I'm telling this a bit confusing. So let me put it, okay, let me just write down the three cases. That makes it interesting. So it makes it more understandable. So in general, you put the thing, niet, here, subject, object, verb, other verbs, here. If you have adverbs with a preposition, it's just here, in het park, and it's about that, or other adverbs, yeah, whatever, I'm making this more confusing than it is. Adverbs with preposition in general, you don't put it there. So you get subject, object, verb, and then need, then your stuff, and then the other verbs. And then the third case, which I think I should have just started with because that is way more understandable, is that you put need in front of the thing you want to specifically negate. If you have a thing, if you want to specifically negate the thing in the sentence, you just put it in front. So if you have, say, I don't want to hug the bunny, but I want to hug something else, when I'm not mentioning it, I could say, ik wil niet het konijntje knuffelen. Konijntje knuffelen. So I don't want to hug the bunny. In English, you don't really distinguish between this. I don't want to hug the bunny. No, there's not a way you can change the sentence there. In English, you accomplish it with emphasis. But in Dutch, you can change where you put niet. So here it just means, I don't want to hug the bunny, but I do want to hug something else, or whatever. But if you say, ik wil niet het konijntje niet knuffelen, then you are just talking about the thing in general. I just don't want to do the thing. Which brings me to the other point, is that if you have this specific negation, I'll just call it that, specific negation, you can even do that with een. So if you say, ik wil niet een konijntje knuffelen, that's totally fair. But what comes after is some kind of implied, but I do want to, whatever. And this part is also interesting. Because that, now I'm thinking about doing it later, but I'll just do it now quickly. This, oh yes. Please. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's totally possible. Yeah, so if I don't want to hug any bunnies. Yeah, but you wouldn't, I don't want to hug, yeah, but you would just put, like, ik wil, okay, ik wil, so I want to hug, so what's the non-negated form of that? I just want to hug, I want to hug any bunny? Yeah, I guess. Ik wil Nah, niet elke, that's wrong. I don't want to hug. Wait. Okay. None, and when to use not. Yeah. Yeah, no, that is true. But so the one thing that's slightly different between that uses of none is that in English you could say I don't want to hug a bunny, right? Um, you wouldn't say. I mean, I guess if someone proposes you, I want to go hug a bunny, then you would say I don't. You would say I don't want to hug a bunny if you feel like that. You wouldn't say I want to hug no bunny, right? That sounds a bit dramatic. Uh, no bunny will be hugged by me as long as I live. So that's kind of difference. In Dutch you need to use geen there. So you would say ik wil geen konijntje, konijnen, konijn, whatever, konijntje knuffelen. If you are just using a general negation. So then that is really geen, and in other cases you use niet. But yeah, there's the annoying part that I feel like I have to add. I would normally, like I would like to skip it because I see this would create confusion. I mean, I'm not presenting this in the most structured way, but this specific negation is different because of this part, this implied but. If you use niet instead of geen here, ik wil niet een konijntje knuffelen, you are implying that you do want to hug something, it's just not a bunny. Maybe like a cat or a kitten. You would hug that, but a bunny, no, absolutely not. Disgusting creatures. And about that part I will now talk. So here, ik wil niet een konijntje knuffelen. This implies that you would do something, hug another creature. So we have an implied but in Dutch, which is maar. Ik wil niet een konijntje knuffelen, maar you would say this. Ik wil, this is a fun word, wel een kitten knuffelen. Yeah, you understand. So wel is here the interesting word. In Dutch, this is the opposite of not, and in English there's no word for this. In English, you would do this with emphasis, like I did before. I don't want to hug a bunny, but I do want to hug a kitten, or I would hug a kitten. You know. So in English, you do that with emphasis, emphasizing that. Oh yeah, this is the other possibility. And in Dutch, which is nice, we have this little word for it, wel. I do want to hug a kitten, or yeah, something along those lines. Wel. So that is kind of the general structure of how you would use this word. Let me think of another example. Let's say de sportscholen zijn nog niet open. So the gyms aren't open yet. Maar de terrassen wel. But the terraces, I never know what the Greek equivalent word that is in English, are. Or maar terrassen zijn wel open. It's like the more complete form of this. The gyms are not open yet, but the terraces are open. Fun word. You will see this word in different contexts as well. So you could also say, yeah, de les was wel interessant. So the lesson was interesting, and so this also implies some sort of negation. Maar Thomas bleef maar doorlullen. Thomas just kept rambling on, and I couldn't follow him. So that is kind of what this implies, but often people use wel to mean, yeah, a little. Hoe was dat feestje? How was how was the party? Ja, het was wel leuk. Yeah, it was fun. Was okay. Was nice. Doesn't really mean that you are. Was wel leuk, maar it just means like, yeah, a little. Quite. Okay, I've rambled enough. You deserve a break. Let's take 10 minutes. After which, we will do an exercise and I will ramble on a little bit more. Okay? Oh, before that, I need to inform you, and I will put this link here. We will be, you should have gotten an email about this, but I will mention it anyway. Next week, on Tuesday, we will be having a little activity for the people of the Dutch course, where we will be 1, baking a traditional Dutch treat, and B, 1 and B, yes, having a pub quiz about the Netherlands and Dutch stuff. I will also be baking something. I will be baking Frieske Dumkes, which are Frisian thumbs, which are like a little cookie from the northern part of the Netherlands. And I will be doing like a cooking demonstration. You can follow along at home, and then hopefully we have cookies we can eat during the pub quiz, which will be fun, which I'll be hosting as well. So, I will send you the link in chat now, so you can sign up if you feel like it, or you could check your email. The cookies are vegan, and I think you can make them gluten-free if you use almond flour. So that should be cool. And I can tell you they're very tasty. But of course there are also other options. Don't feel the need to sign up for my cooking thing. I will just be very disappointed in you. Alright, have a nice break. I'll post a thing here, and I'll see you back in 10 minutes. So 7 past. So warm. Yeah, it's alright. Just putting my kick on. I'm not in my room. Alright, no worries, Stefan. I will let you. I think we'll be able to finish rather quickly. I say every single lesson, but it's totally okay. Thanks for letting me know. Alright, welcome back. We are going to discuss. Damn, I'm really rusty after 1 week of not teaching. My segues are all over the place. I can't believe this. Haha, got one. So we're going to talk about demonstratives. And for this I will be brief, because it is pretty simple, and I have the tendency to make simple things a bit more complicated. So demonstratives are things like this, that, those, and these. Or these and those, that would make more sense. And in Dutch, we have similar words, namely dit, dat, die, and deze. No, all the way around. Die, dat, deze, and I'm not sure in what order I'm actually. Okay, this is a more sensible order. Deze, and dit, and die, and that. Yes, because I do want to make like a nice table here. So in English we have this, that, these, those, and they are distinguished by two factors. One is how far away the person is, or the thing is that you're pointing to. So if they're close, you use this and these, and if they're far away, you use that and those. And the other thing you're distinguishing by is the number of things. Namely, if they are singular, you use this and this, that, these, those. You use this and that for things that are close and far away. If there are multiple, you use these and those for things that are close and far away. In Dutch, we do make the distinction of close and far away. So these are the close ones, and these are the far away ones. But we don't distinguish between singular and plural. We distinguish between de and het words, because we have those things and we just want to use it, you know? Otherwise, why have these annoying articles if you can't make them even more annoying? So if you have a de word and you want to say it is close or far away, you use deze and die. If you have a het word, you use dit and dat. So some examples. Say this is a board that is het. So I would say dit bord. Dit bord. Far away, there's a mattress in the corner there. It's far away, so I would say dat matras. Those are both het. Confusingly, I'm now doing het and then de. And otherwise, you can imagine how it works. Close things, you would again use deze. So, deze microfoon, this microphone, and die boeken, those books. Note that for plurals, you will always use this one, because plurals are always de. So for plurals, it's very easy, and as far away, you use die, and well, also deze. But also for things that are de, but that's a little shortcut. So that's also, I guess, why we don't distinguish between plural and singular in that case with Dutch, because the plural and singular is mixed up with the de and het distinction. And yeah, we want to keep things a little bit sane. Otherwise, you have definite articles that are distinguished by closeness and far awayness, by plural and closeness, and also by de and het. And now we only have to think about closeness and farness and de and het. So that's a little bit easier. But that's it, basically. There is not that much more to say about those. You just use them whenever you would use them in English, so if you're pointing to things. Now we finally are at the moment where you can do some exercises. So we have two exercises, one about niet and geen, and one about the other two. And we will do them both. So I would say just start doing them. If you have any questions in the meantime, please ask. And then In 10-ish minutes, we will discuss the first one, and then maybe 5 minutes after that, we will discuss the other one. Okay? Cool. Good luck. It is the exercise that starts with het is oktober, dus ik ga... Maybe it's on the next page. Okay, cool. Yes. Maybe, and please let me know if you are done with the first one, because if we are quick, then I can still do the listing exercise as well, and that's useful. But that doesn't mean. Good luck. Yes. Oh, okay, yeah, indeed. The notation there is a bit opaque. So, oh yeah, it's also in Dutch to make it extra difficult. So I will, let me explain it. So what you have to do is just fill in the correct demonstrative, which is aanwijzend voornaamwoord. So aanwijzend VNW. So I just copied this exercise from the advanced course booklet, which is in English, and I forgot to translate it, so this is my bad. Aanwijzend voornaamwoord is, well, that's that thing. And in the other things, you have to fill in the correct pronoun, which is a persoonlijk voornaamwoord. So persoonlijk voornaamwoord is pronoun. And then it says tweede persoon of tweede persoon of so like a number, and then enkelvoud or meervoud, so singular or plural. So for instance, the second one, it says tweede persoon enkelvoud, So it's second person plural. No, singular, sorry. Second person singular. So like things like you. But it doesn't say which specific form of the pronoun you have to pick. So it could be you, or your, or like if it was first person singular, you could be I, me, or mine. But it doesn't say which one you have to use, and you have to like from context clues figure out which one it is. Was that clear? Oh, it has an M. Yeah, the M is there for masculine, but you can pick. It doesn't really matter to me which one you pick. Uh, just don't pick hat, because that is a bit difficult here. Thanks for asking. I did need to clarify that. Are some of you already done with exercise 1? Okay, good. Then, because the other one is, I think, quicker to discuss, I'll start discussing this one. I think it's a useful exercise to do. So first is, ga je mee naar de dierentuin? And then you have to negate it. So, Caitlin, could you do this one? Oh yeah, you didn't have your booklet. You can download the booklet from the Files tab, so you can just have a look at it. Maybe not this one, but in the general one, if you go to the Files, you can download the booklet, and then you would be able to follow along. Cool. Kritika, could you do the first one? Yes, almost. This is one of those annoying cases. Ga je mee? Nee. Ik ga. Oh, we can't see it. Sorry. Fix. One. Ik ga. Here you would put it here. Niet mee naar de dierentuin. And this is because this whole thing is it is kind of difficult, because this is the subject, this is the verb, obviously, But this is like basically past the where you would put the object. So the object would normally be here, and this all goes at the end. Because this naar thing, this means to the thing, niet always goes in front of that. And this may is a prefix, which also goes at the end. These are a lot of small things that I did not mention, so apologies for not mentioning that and just having be a very complicated explanation. But it goes here. Ik ga niet mee naar de dierentuin. In general, if you have some adverb of direction, such as naar or whatever, something that has to do with place, a niet almost always goes in front of it. And this thing is just a bit weird. Ik ga niet mee naar de dierentuin. Yes. I won't join, I won't go with you to the zoo. And the bias that is crossed out is just me trying to be funny. Which bias is like a funny word in Dutch for jail. Animals, animal jail. So dierentuin is animal garden, which is a zoo. Alright. The second one. Stefan, could you do that one? Yes. No, almost. Henk will. Well, yeah, you could say that. But in general, I think you would leave out the 20. Je wil geen 20 puppies adopteren. Or is kittens? Yeah, puppies. So you could leave in the 20, but just like when you have een and then a niet, it becomes geen. And so you don't say geen een, you just say geen. And similarly with a number or other words, you just leave that one out. Although people do say this, wil geen 20 puppies adopteren. So it's fine. Could you translate it? Yes, indeed. The selfish bastard. Yes. Yeah, you could also say it. You could also say hij wil niet 20 puppies adopteren. But maybe he'll go for 19. He'll settle. That is okay. Yes, indeed. All right. Simona, could you do 3? Yes. Here again, it is unfortunately one of those weird ones. Okay. Well, that's good that you felt that it didn't work. You would say ik ben niet geobsedeerd met katten. Yeah, that's fine. Yes. So this again, because the whole this is mostly because this is an am sentence, and this whole thing is the only thing that is in the sentence. Namely, a big old sort of adverb. It's basically so you put niet in front of it because you're negating it. That is mostly the case with ben sentences. So ik ben niet X, Y, Z. Ik ben niet, I don't know. I can't think about other things. Yes. Alright. And this means I'm not obsessed with cats. 4. Save. Yes. Is een hond gewoon een grote kat? So you could say, you could do this in multiple ways. You could say een hond is geen grote kat. You could say is niet, this is probably too low, yes. Is niet, niet gewoon een grote kat. Is not just a big cat. Een grote kat. Or you could, is niet een grote kat. Because you are directly negating something here. You're directly negating the fact that it is a big cat. So you can just use niet. That is fine. So, is a dog a big cat? Is a dog just a big cat? No, it is not. Biology lessons with Thomas. And then 5, Panagiotta? Yes, very good. Kip is niet veganistisch. Here again, because it is an is sentence, you just put it there. You're directly negating the thing. Because you're directly making a statement about the thing. Kip is niet veganistisch. No. Kip is not, chicken is not vegan. Alright. Then, the last one. I will just discuss it now, just to see. If you aren't done with it, that is fine. But I will still ask. So if you don't know the answer, you have to guess. Rosita, you perchance get a chance to do the first one already. Yes. No worries. Okay. Gabrielle. No worries. Alright, then I will just ask in general. Did anyone get it? Juliette? Want to guess? Yes, very good. Do you know what it means? Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. Very good. So yeah, in the Netherlands you have this national campaign called Stoptober, which the government incentivizes people to stop smoking because it kind of works with the name. And not really October, Stoptober, it has it all. Very good. 2. Anyone got that yet? Or wants to warn a guess? Okay. Yes, very good. Yeah, and yeah. Very good. I can give you also a kind of a cheat code. If you're not sure, you can actually, for anything, you can use je. Because je is both the subject, object, and possessive pronoun for you, your, and you again. And then you, and your. So you could just say, je mag niet autorijden zonder je rijbewijs. But you could also say, jij mag niet autorijden zonder jouw rijbewijs. That is again more specific. But very good. So you can't drive without your driver's license. Okay. Anyone up for the third one? Anyone there? Nice. That would be correct indeed if it. No, but no. Huiswerk unfortunately is a het word, so you would either use dit or dat with it. But you have a chance of redeeming yourself because you had to add a third person plural pronoun here. So something like they, their, or them. And so which pronoun would you use here in Dutch? the student have these students made homework? What is the correct pronoun there in Dutch? What's the correct one in English there? How would you finish the sentence? Have these students made homework? Yeah, indeed. So there and there in Dutch is hun. Hun. Nice. What the fuck? My neighbors sometimes just yell extremely loudly and then nothing else happens. It's very weird. Hope they're okay. Hope you did not hear that. Alright, 4. Anyone dare do these? Yeah, go ahead. Nice, good pronunciation. And you had the correct distance, but stipje is a het word because it ends on je. So what would it then be? Yes, very good. Dat stipje aan de horizon is een vliegtuig. En kun je translate it? Yes, very good. That tiny dot is an airplane. Great. And then 5. Nice. Yes, perfect. Hij doet altijd zijn best. And do you know what that means? Oh. Yes, indeed. He always tries his best. So in Dutch, yeah, you do your best. And in English, you usually try your best. You can also do your best. Alright. That was it. We did not get to the listening thing. But I will do that, I think, maybe next lesson, because well, that's completely up to how smoothly the next lesson will go, because I think we have time for that. Because next lesson we don't have any very specific thing. Cool. Then we will do the next lesson. Next lesson, we are going to talk about studying. That's the main theme. And it will be mostly some more in-depth exercises. So we won't be discussing any particularly new grammar there, but we will be, practicing the things you learned. And of course, if you have any questions there, like, can you repeat that? That's always possible. So for next time, please do your homework, as always. It's on page 45. With some translation and some reading. And sign up for the activity if you feel like it. And that's it. Yes. So for next week, we will definitely do it. This may be a bit short notice, but we will do it. You can, if you want to, you can upload, or no, not you can. You should upload your homework to the files tab of this channel. I will make a folder called Lesson 10, and if you could upload your homework, I can give you feedback on your homework there. So you have some more personal feedback on what you do right and wrong, and then we can briefly discuss that next lesson so we have more time for the actual lesson instead of just doing the homework. Okay, so just upload a PDF or a Word document or whatever you like there, and then I will give you some feedback. Okay? Cool. Nice. Okay, then, hope you enjoyed. Tot volgende week. Bye.